ADHD is known to have a few negative connotations, but what if I told you that ADHD saved my life literally? Stick around, I'll let you know how that happened, but first, let me give you a little backstory. So, I was diagnosed with ADHD back in 1999. Yes, that was over 20 years ago. It's fine, we're trucking through the 30s now, it's all good, But back then, it was referred to as ADD/ADHD. So my fourth grade teacher at the time, she suggested to my mom that I go get tested to see if I had it because I had a lot of issues focusing in class. And it would be reflected a lot in my grades. My grades would fluctuate. I would do well sometimes and sometimes not so much. Before that, though, we did try to move me to different parts of the classroom, mainly the front, to try to focus or to try to help me focus a bit better. It didn't work, though. I still was zoned out. And to be quite honest with you, that really hasn't changed too much. I can be having a conversation with somebody today, and I'm nodding and agreeing, and my mind is elsewhere. I could be thinking about what I want to eat, my favorite show, my favorite cartoon, whatever. It's nothing personal. It just happens. But I'm a lot better at catching it though. So that's a good thing. But as a kid, I ended up going to a psychiatrist. She ended up diagnosing me with what was then ADD, now known as inattentive ADHD. And I was put on that nasty blue pill known as Adderall. I wasn't hyperactive, I wasn't disruptive, but I was a serious daydreamer. And I always got caught in the blank daydreaming stare, when you kind of just stare off into space and then you come back after you're done or whatever. Got caught doing that a lot. So I would miss a lot of the lesson that my teacher was teaching at the time. So the medication did end up helping me, but it made me feel really, really weird when I was on it. I would get anxious, I would lose my appetite, but I stayed on it for, from elementary school up through high school, I was on it. So I noticed in high school that medication really wasn't helping me like it was when I was younger. I guess my tolerance had built up over the years with it. So I told my mom, and we kind of both decided to kind of let me get off of it for a little while to see how I did in school. And relatively nothing changed. I was still doing pretty well in school. Fast forward through college, then my 20s, now currently in my mid 30s, and we're doing pretty well with it. Like I'm managing it pretty well with no real issues, except a few mishaps every now and then. But there was one mishap back in my 20s that literally saved me from being in a catastrophic car accident with an 18-wheeler. So I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis is a major distribution center city. FedEx is based there, some other major companies. There's many warehouses, many 18-wheelers, and many damn potholes, okay? Listen, the one thing about Memphis, Tennessee, if you drive through Memphis regularly and you hit a pothole, you really tense up because that could be a bill for you. I'm not lying. But anyway, let me get back to the story. So it's about 6:30-ish on a weekday, and I'm heading home from work. I noticed as I'm exiting the parking lot that the intersection that I usually make my left turn on is really, really, like there's a lot of heavy traffic. So I decided to take a shortcut. So I head down a side street through another parking lot to another intersection. But as I'm driving, I realized, or I remembered at least, that this shortcut, the light takes forever to change because it's not a major road. I get to the intersection, another car pulls up behind me, and we're just sitting there, waiting for the light to change. My phone is in my backpack in the back seat. The music is low. I really wasn't in the mood to listen to anything at the time. So I'm just sitting there and my mind does what it does. I stare off into space and it's like it's automatic. I end up going to my daydream. I'm not sure how long I was out, but all of a sudden I hear a beep, beep, and it's the car behind me. Of course, I get back focused, and of course I do my friendly little, apologetic wave, and I accelerate kind of hard because we've been sitting there a minute, so I'm trying to head home, quickly. So I try to pull out really quick, and this is when things got intense. So at this intersection, there is no crosswalk, but if there was one, the front of my car would have been maybe 5 or 6 inches past it as I had to slam on my brakes suddenly. An 18-wheeler hurled past the front of my car, missing my car by inches. I would say no more than a foot. It was such an intense moment because, for one, okay, the speed limit is roughly about 50 miles an hour. Nobody goes the speed limit. These 18 wheelers, they do not go the speed limit. So I would say he was roughly going to maybe 55, maybe even 60, hurled past the intersection. Now, of course, we know that when a light changes from red from one side of the intersection to green for the for the perpendicular side, it's not right away. It's usually like a 2.5 second wait, right? One Mississippi, two Mississippi, and then it turns green. This dude ran a very established red light. It wasn't changing from yellow to red. It had been red. And of course, I didn't go when the light turned green right away. Of course, if I did do that, there's a chance that either the driver's side where I was at or the back seat on the driver's side would have been hit. This could have been a very, very different outcome, if you know what I mean. So I'm very grateful. So, what is the lesson? What's the point of this whole story? Some things that are viewed as a crutch or hindrance could at times really be a benefit. For example, having resilience. Because of the challenges associated with having ADHD, we're forced to work through it in very unconventional ways. That also plays into creativity as well. We're also great conversationalists. We tend to have a high level of social intelligence and pretty empathetic at times too. But I will say ADD or inattentive ADHD has been very crucial in my artistic development, in my skill set with that, among other things that I've developed skills with. And that's mainly because of my ability to really focus in on things that I'm interested in. And for that day, it was definitely used as the mechanism to save my life. I really believe that. That's all I got. Peace.